the Yerevan Matenadaran. It is the largest collection of Armenian manuscripts in the world. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Yerevan. Yerevan, Armenia. Another hot and sweaty day here in Yerevan. Today we are visiting this place right here. This is the Matenadaran, the Yerevan Matenadaran, also known as the manuscripts Matenadaran, named after this guy right here, manuscripts, who created the Armenian alphabet way back in the day. We actually saw a little bit about the creation of the Armenian alphabet in a previous video, our video at the Armenian National History Museum. But today we are going to be visiting this place, and this Matenadaran, which means book repository, is exactly what this is. This is a repository of thousands of Armenian manuscripts dating back hundreds and if not thousands of years. It is the largest collection of Armenian manuscripts in the world, and we are going to check it out. So come along. Thanks for clicking on the video. If you want to help out the channel and help it grow, I really would appreciate it. Click on the like button down there, the subscribe button, and the little bell next to it to be notified for when new videos drop. It really helps the channel grow because it's going to help the YouTube algorithm recognize this content and spread it to other YouTube viewers. If you'd like to support the channel monetarily, I would appreciate that as well. You can leave a super thanks by clicking this thanks button here and give a small donation to the channel. I appreciate your support. So back to the video, enjoy. So the collection of manuscripts here and the history of the Matenadaran, or just in general like a book repository, because of course that's what Matenadaran means. A book repository in Armenia, the history goes all the way back to like the 5th century, so like 400 AD, the first recorded record of a historian writing about the existence of an Armenian manuscript repository. And of course the details are very sketchy, as is all details with ancient history, but over the many centuries, the Armenian church managed to preserve many of these manuscripts, and of course not here in this building. We'll get to the history of this building in a little bit, but they were able to preserve the manuscripts through lots of different conquests, different empires conquering and pillaging. I mean, so many empires have come through here. The Mongol Empire, the Seljuk Turks, and eventually under the Russian Empire, a concerted effort was made to preserve manuscripts and study them in a very scientific way. And so during the Russian Empire, the collection grew, and more funds and more money was dedicated towards preserving and studying the collections. Now, in World War I, in order to protect the collection, it was all moved from Armenia here to Moscow, and moved to Moscow to protect it during World War I. But of course, immediately following, well, actually even during World War I, the Russian Empire collapsed, was overthrown by the Bolshevik Revolution, which led, of course, to the Soviet Union. And the Soviet Union, eventually, after just a few years of Armenia being independent, the Soviet Union took over here, and this became the Soviet Republic. But the Soviet Republic of Armenia was also very dedicated to preserving manuscripts and preserving these manuscripts. So they, ultimately in 1959, built this building, and now all the manuscripts are here. It's amazing because this museum building here, where we're going to go in and see some of these manuscripts, we're only going to see just a very few of the preserved manuscripts that they have, because there are actually 23,000 preserved manuscripts in the collection, as well as over 500,000 other documents that they have preserved here in the Matenadaran. It's a truly amazing undertaking, and it is the largest collection of manuscripts, Armenian manuscripts in the entire world. It's definitely one of the most famous, if not the most famous and important museums in all of Armenia. So very excited to check it out. It really is a spectacular building, built here in 1959, so it is a modern building, but truly, truly spectacular. Just a cool building. I'm hoping that it's as cool inside as it is out here. Very nice view from up here at the top of the steps of the Matenadaran as well. Very, very nice. Alright, I think it's time. I think it's time we head in and actually see this thing. Because I'm very excited to see some of these things that they have preserved in here. Thousands of years worth of preserved manuscripts. Let's check it out. Alright, so we have made it inside. 2,000 dram, the tickets. Which, I don't know exactly how that converts to USD. I'll put it in the subtitle, but we're inside on the first floor. There's 3 floors. And some of these manuscripts, this is the hall dedicated to the mystery of divine creation, I believe. This is what I really wanted to see. I mean, the history of this is very important and very interesting, but these, like, illuminated manuscripts with all the paintings, the drawings, they're so incredible. Just the amount of time and effort that went into an illumination like this on every page of these huge manuscripts. It's wild. This place is pretty popular. We're here on a weekend, and so it is a bit crowded. But like we always do, we will still try and get a good video out of it so that you guys can all see all of these amazing manuscripts, and we won't bother too many of these nice people by walking around talking into the camera like an idiot. Man, this stuff is really amazing. Manifestations of creative nature in Persian art. Now, of course, these manuscripts, they date back for many, like thousands of years. And Armenia has been ruled by many different empires over those years. So there are like Persian and Arabic manuscripts. Yeah, creativity, Mother Nature, and Persian art. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, a lot of this, as far as the stability of the collection, was like stabilized much more during the Russian Empire, and then even like after that during the Soviet Union, the times of the Soviet Union. Because of course there were a lot of times, long time, in which the Armenian kingdom was under attack, and the ancient Matenadaran was pillaged like many, many times. So really beautiful. The building inside also. Very beautiful building inside as well as outside. This hall here is foreign language manuscripts, so they don't have just, like I mentioned before, not just manuscripts, Armenian manuscripts, foreign language manuscripts as well. This is up on the 3rd floor now. It looked like the 2nd floor was closed off when I went by there, but there are some very interesting manuscripts here, foreign language manuscripts. A prayer scroll. Let's see. Oh, some of these leather-bound covers. These are really interesting. These Gospels, 16th and 17th centuries, like 1500s. These are Ethiopian manuscripts. It's wild. Let's see, this is a Torah written in Hebrew. Yeah, these are wild. I mean, the manuscripts themselves, of course, are very impressive. The building, of course, as we mentioned when we were outside looking at it, very impressive on the inside as well. But the preservation, just the fact that and these are, the ones that are on display here are just like a few of them. There are thousands and thousands of preserved manuscripts here in Matenadaran. This is like just, of course, the small foreign language collection that they have here. We haven't even gone into the main room where all the Armenian ones are. Here's a Chinese manuscript. Japanese. Wow, these are amazing. Letter of the Burman Empire to His Holiness Gevorok IV, Catholicos of all Armenians, about the commitment to protect the Armenians of Burma, December 1st, 1874. Wild. Man, this collection is crazy. I want to take a look out here real quick before we move on into the main hall, because there was some stuff out here that was a little bit more crowded in here when I arrived. I wasn't able to see. Wow, look at this. Old maps. I love old maps, man. Look at this old map over here. Caspian Sea. And there is the Kingdom of Georgia, Dagestan, Yerevan, and then Armenia. Wow. That's cool. These, let's see. Another very old map. Wow. I can't read this, unfortunately. This looks very like Middle Ages. It's wild. Some more maps here. Turkey, the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire, which did control for a time the Caucasus. What do we have in here? Oh, it's like some herbs and oils. The secret medieval Armenian recipes for like perfumes, aroma of paradise. Wow. That's cool. So this hall here is the hall of 1 year's eternity. This small section here, as well as the like larger hall that's outside here. And this collection, because the collection of manuscripts here at the Matenadaran is ongoing, and so they explain here that between July 2024 and 2025, so just in the past year, they've managed to collect all of these new manuscripts, not new obviously, old manuscripts, but new to this collection, which is wild. So it is not just maintaining the collection that they have, but it's continuing to grow the collection through donations as other manuscripts, especially Armenian manuscripts, are found. That's really cool. And of course, the building. I still really can't get over how cool this building is. It's such a cool building. I've been in museums before that are just in normal, boring buildings, and there have been some very good museums. But it's kind of something about having a museum in an amazing building. Gives it that extra flair. Some really cool old photographs here. More manuscripts. Some of these burned, so these are damaged at some point, but this is, like here, found in Kadak village, Isfahan, Iran in 1614, but donated later by Ameribank, CJSC Gospel. Okay, apparently Ameribank owned these 17th century manuscripts, and they donated them. This, whatever this is, it looks important. It is up here. Donated by Viva Armenia. It's a gospel. I'm imagining, I don't know what this is, but I'm imagining this is one of the most famous and valuable of all the manuscripts they have here, because you can see how it's displayed. It's basically at this one end, all by itself. Pretty amazing. It's a pretty amazing collection. And we haven't even got to the main room, the Armenian collection. It's right through there. We will go there in just a moment. I want to check a few more of these out, because like I said, it's amazing how many of these they've collected in just the past year. And also how these are just the ones that they're choosing to display. There's so many more here that are being studied, being restored, that are not on display. Alright. I think it's time we head out. We go into the main room and we see the main event. So this is the main room with all the Armenian manuscripts, or at least the best of them, the display manuscripts. This is interesting. They're mentioning Mesrop Mashtots, who is of course the guy who this Matenadaran is named after, and also the creator of the Armenian language. It's very, very interesting. Here we have, this looks like a nature, plants, medicinal plants and herbs. This is very interesting. Look at that. I think it's very interesting, what they chose to display here. Also, what they chose to, what page they chose to open the manuscript to, Because, these manuscripts have hundreds of pages. And they've chosen specifically to have them open to these specific pages. I don't know, that just sort of goes into like, I always find it interesting, museum curators, how they choose what to show and how they operate. There's a little bit of a glare there, sorry about that. Been going to a lot of museums, obviously, on this trip. It's made me think about that, how the museum creators, or curators rather, operate. I think I'm getting in the way of a guided tour here, so I'm going to move on. They do have guided tours here that you can pay for. That one back there that we just got in the way of was in Russian. Yes. It was at this point I was told by a security guard that I was not allowed to film with the camera, which, you know, honestly, we had made it through almost the entire Matenadaran without someone telling us that we can't film with the camera, so we just sort of finished off by checking out these just amazing manuscripts in this room. I mean, the collection here is, like I mentioned, what you see out here in the displays is just the cream of the crop. There are thousands and thousands of other manuscripts, tens of thousands of other manuscripts, hundreds of thousands of other documents that are being restored, that are in storage, that you don't see. And one of the really amazing things is the Matenadaran actually plans to put a lot of these manuscripts online. I read an article about this, so it's possible that soon you may be able to see these manuscripts online on their website. Very, very cool. Well, I think that will do it. That'll do it for this video, man. We kind of got lucky, man. We were able to film almost everything in there with the camera before one of the docents came up and told us that we couldn't film with the camera. So of course we got some photographs and voiceover there at the end. But man, that's just amazing. It's amazing. Not just the, you know, I said this throughout the video, it's not just the artifacts themselves, the manuscripts themselves, but I mean, those are very impressive, of course, but everything about the whole experience is impressive. The building is impressive. The history of the long history of like the collection and how it was preserved and how it was pillaged and then reconstructed and how it was moved from place to place to like avoid being damaged or pillaged in wars. And it's just amazing. It's an amazing, a really amazing collection with an amazing history. And not only that they've preserved some of those pieces, you know, that we saw were way back, like almost 1,000 years old, the actual book itself 1,000 years old, but then the translations, certain translations of texts that were 2,000 years old. Just amazing. Really amazing. Well, that's going to be it for this video, though. From here at the Yerevan Matenadaran. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed coming to this place. It was one of the places that was definitely on the list when I decided to visit Yerevan here, because it's one of the most famous, it's possibly the most famous museum in all of Armenia, and just an amazing place. If you ever come here to Yerevan, you absolutely have to check this place out, the Matenadaran of Yerevan. But that's it for the video. Stay tuned. There's gonna be a little bit more coming from here in Yerevan before we head out, and hopefully you'll stay tuned for that. We'll see you in the next one.